what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder movies Korg Build-A-Figure Waves Jane Foster Mighty Thor. If you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And while you're down there, I ask you to please hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. And big thanks to the squad for helping me get a handle on this wave, especially Just Plain Steve. Oh my god, I'm so happy to finally have this figure and review it for you guys. Anyway, the images on the side of the box look pretty cool to me. I'm just not a big fan of this image on the back of the packaging. It just looks a little on the silly side, I guess. Anyway, there's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's the other figures from the wave, and then you can see a spot-varnished cracked Mjolnir on the very top. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And I did have an extra one of these, and congrats to Mr. V over in SoCal. Thank you guys so much for everybody who made it out to the Toy Depot event, and Toy Depot once again for hosting it. Holy crap, that was a lot of fun. And whoa, this looks pretty neat. I like that backdrop over there. I will throw this away, but still looks pretty cool. Then here's the figure inside. Ooh, not looking too bad. Very much looks like Natalie Portman to me already. We're in the cape. All right, let's get this figure back on the rotating base. So, getting some time with this figure and getting her back on the rotating base, I gotta say she looks very cool. There are some very cool things going on with this figure. She doesn't have too many accessories though, so that's not really that cool. But let's get a closer look at that Mjolnir, and then we'll take a closer look at Thor. So yeah, some fisted hands would have been nice to get with this figure, right? Thor punch, whether it's a female or male, right? Thor punch. But yeah, the Mjolnir looks really good. I really like all the cracks and the details in this thing. So that's cool to get a brand new sculpted Mjolnir. So she has the busted version to compare the busted Mjolnir, you know, next to the other busted Mjolnir from Hela. Yeah, you can see they are not the same size. So I'm glad that they didn't give her a smaller, wimpier Mjolnir or anything. She has a fairly large size Mjolnir. It's actually a little bit bigger than the endgame Thor's Mjolnir, as you can see right over here. Wow, so yeah, maybe a little too big. Would have been better if it was closer to this. When you get this thing in her hand, and I'm gonna say it, it does look a little big, right? It's just a little too big, no? What do you think? What do you think, huh? Is that about right? Because when I have her hold this one, it just seems like it's a little bit more suiting, right? So maybe just a little bit too large with the Mjolnir. So we haven't seen a whole ton of the Mighty Thor, right? We've just seen a little bit at the end of the trailer and then some leaked images. But regardless, I think this head sculpt very much looks like Natalie Portman. For a Natalie Portman head comparison, you can see we have the Star Wars 6-inch Black series, Natalie Portman. So I guess this is back when we were about 20 years old, and here we are at about 40 years old. Yeah, Natalie Portman and I are the same age, along with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans. So yeah, I could have grown up to be Captain America or something, but instead I'm doing this. Nice paint apps over here. Little doughy with the eyes, like when you look at it dead on, looks a little extra doughy to me. I don't know, but yeah, from the side right over here, when you get that 3/4 angle, looks very accurate. I like the little details right over here. And then you can see she has helmet hair, I guess. You can see a little bit of this graph pattern right here, which throws me off. Kind of wish the dirty blonde color was kind of mixed in there a little smoother. I don't know, but you can see that it's very bright right over here. So yeah, I do know. I wish it was kind of mixed in together a little better, but maybe that's supposed to be helmet hair. But speaking of helmet hair, here she is with the helmet on, so right, makes sense that she has the helmet hair, right? Now, I do like this head sculpt a lot. The eyes look pretty good, and you get the logo right here, which isn't really centered, but the thing that does really bother me about this, if you compare this to the basic Jane Foster Thor figure from Hasbro, this has a lot of silver paint on the helmet, and this is just the paint that came with the molded plastic, so kind of wish we had some silver paint on it. I do like the touch of details that you could see, so that is cool. This is a little, you know, they missed the mark right there, but still, I like this head sculpt, and it's going to be the one that she's going to be displayed on the shelf with. And looking at the rest of the figure, I love how comic accurate this is. This is just so cool looking. I love all the details. The gunmetal gray looks really good. I love those fine touches of red right over here. Love the pinless double jointed elbows on the female figure, and I like how she's got the big old buff arms, you know. and it looks really cool right here on the back. And I did see the She-Hulk trailer, by the way. I don't know if I've posted a video on that yet. I might. I don't know. We'll see. You want to see me reacting to the She-Hulk trailer? But yeah, hands look pretty good. Wish we had an extra set of fisted hands still. And then very smooth right over here on the thighs, and you can see that we get the double jointed pinless knees right there, looking really nice. And then again, not painted, but, you know, silver plastic. You can see how it kind of changes color a little bit as you turn it around. And I like the sculpted details on the boots too, man. They look really good. So nice variation in there and everything, and she has peg holes at the bottom of the feet, and the cape looks really nice. I do like this cape, and I did have some fun taking a few pictures of her pose with the cape kind of, you know, being held by a Mafex stand. So I really do like the articulation, and then there's times where I don't like the articulation on this figure. Now we do get the double ball joint and no hinge. You can get her to look up just barely, so it's tricky for her to get her into a, you know, flying Mjolnir pose. Not just for that, but the shoulders too. She can look down that much, and the articulation is the same with this hair too, you know, side to side, and then you get the pivot right over there with the head, and then no butterfly joints. There's times where it feels like a butterfly joint and it shifts around a little bit, but it's not really a butterfly joint. Doesn't seem like it's enough to count as one anyway. Shoulders move outward at about 90 degrees, and then you can move them down that much and rotate forward and up only that much. So yeah, going back to that Mjolnir posing flying idea, it's just really awkward and hard to do. But we do get the bicep swivel and the pinless double jointed elbows that bend in all the way. The left hand has a wrist that turns side to side and hinges up and down, and then the right side, instead of up and down, this one has the horizontal hinge, which I like. I thought that was a good call. And then you get the diaphragm joint turns side to side, diaphragm pivot crunches forward a little bit, back that much. No waist cut here, but we have hips that move outward that far, and she will kick forward pretty far and back a bit. Upper thigh cut, pinless double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down. They do move up very well, and she has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this mighty Thor figure, you can see that she's standing at about 6¼ inches tall. And for a Jane Foster Thor comparison, we have one of the Marvel Legends Jane Foster Thor figures with the wrong cape, I believe. But yeah, I mean, you can see how close they are to the comic version over here. They nailed it. I mean, I think that is awesome. I really love this movie adaptation. And then for your Thor Love and Thunder Mighty Thor figure comparison, you can see we have the Marvel Legend figure, and then we have the basic action figure right over here, which actually has an action feature to it. Like, how cool is that, right? Well, she's hammering her own butt. All right. I really didn't think I was going to see that in this video, but there you go. All right, it's happening, and it's still happening. She's getting hammered. Then for an MCU Thor comparison, you can see we have our mighty Thor next to our Endgame Thor, and again, the Mjolnirs. She gets a bigger hammer. And then to throw the Natalie Portman head right back on there for your Natalie Portman figure comparison, you can see we have mighty Thor next to our Queen Amidala or Padme. Then for another Natalie Portman figure comparison / Jane Foster figure comparison, we have our mighty Thor Love and Thunder movie figure next to the Thor the Dark World Jane Foster. And I think these are the only two Jane Foster MCU figures out there, like full figures, I guess, like not counting like a little kid's toy. Is it still doing it? It is. It's still doing. I'm sorry, I can't help it. And then here's the mighty Thor figure next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Wow, Thor, bro, you are looking good. I mean, I've seen some transitions in the past, but wow, this is really the best one. I can't believe you're still, I mean, should I call you? Ah! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, show some love by hitting that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and a big thank you to all you patrons and members that help make this content possible and helping me get a hold of this set of figures. Like, it was a whole adventure on an after party live stream, and it was a great time. If you're interested in all that stuff, check it out, link below. This figure right here is a figure that I really enjoy. I really like the adaptation of it. I think that's probably one of my favorite parts, is that it looks so comic accurate, but at the same time, the details and everything, it just looks even cooler to me. I don't know, it just fits in so well to the MCU just from what I'm seeing already, and I think the articulation is actually really good. You know, well, I'm really happy to see the double jointed elbows. Like, that just takes it to another level for me, just that right there. Even though she can't look up too much and it's hard to get her Mjolnir over her head for a flying pose, those are some gripes of mine for sure. But still, man, I like the figure, and at the price point of around, are we looking at like, what, 25 to 28 bucks? I'm gonna give this Thor figure a sub rating of
I love it!
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news and a photo gallery of images, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,